Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestha Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivinoda Swami Niti Namine Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestha Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktarinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So we are continuing discussing Shabda Pramana, and yesterday we have learned that the Vedas are actually the only true evidence, reliable authority in revealing the knowledge of God. That is because they are originated from the Supreme Lord. They are free from the four defects which humans are affected. They are eternal, and they are transmitted through the parampara, the cyclic succession of sages, or sadhus, devotees, who are also pure and free from the four defects. So, the Krishna is the original speaker of the Vedas. Now we find in Srimad Bhagavata many places in the Shastra. Tene Brahma Hridayadi Kavaye. Brahma means the Vedic knowledge. Adi Kavaye means refers to Lord Brahma. So Krishna in the heart revealed the knowledge to Lord Brahma. And then Brahma further on instructed his sons, different rishis, and they emanated the knowledge. So we'll now see the slides. Okay, here, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he given the Vedic knowledge, Shabda Pramana. So Vedas are eternal, they are eternally existing. And those who are pure, they can actually hear them, that the Vedas reveals to them. And this is how the Vedic knowledge expanded. So Krishna taught to Lord Brahma. Brahma given knowledge to Narada Muni. Narada Muni to his famous disciple Krishna Dvaipayana Vyasa. Of course, we have to understand that Vyasadeva is described in the Vedas as a Shaktya-Vesha avatar also. That means that the Jiva Tattva, empowered to do that function. Every cycle of different millennia changes of the four yugas. At the end of Dwapara Yuga, different jiva assumed the post of Vyasadeva. Like Parashara Muni said, that previous cycle of yugas, I was Vyasadeva. Parashara Muni said, who is father of Vyasadeva. But when Krishna Dvaipayana Vyasa comes, we understand that he is literal incarnation of Krishna. So he particularly has deeper knowledge, and he has full understanding of whatever is revealed to him. He has a special position, Krishna Dvaipayana Vyasa. Now Krishna Dvaipayana Vyasa, the original Vedas which eternally exist, he divides into four, because there are four types of priests for yagyas described. So just to handle it easily, just to make it practical for people in Kali Yuga, because Kali Yuga is coming, Prayana alpa sabya, kalau asmin yuge jana, manda sumanda matayo, manda bhagya hyubadrutaha. People in Kali Yuga, they have difficulties understanding Vedas due to their misfortune. Short lives, short memory, always disturbed mind, and this and that. So, Veda Vyas means literally one who divided the Vedas. Originally Veda was known as Yajurveda. One name was there. Of course, all other Vedas were present, but because the text of Yajurveda is so big, it's called the Yajurveda. Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur gives an example that if you see 100 cows coming and 2 buffaloes among them, you will say, cows are coming. You won't mention these 2 buffaloes because they're very less in the number. So therefore, the original Veda was called Yajurveda. Then later on was divided according to the sacrificial priests and their duties. And of course, for the people in Kali Yuga, he wrote Mahabharata, expanded Ramayana also. by Valmiki, then we have the Puranas, like that. So here, Krishna Dvaipayana Vyas divided Vedas into Rig Veda, Yajur, Sama Veda, and Atharva Veda. So you will find different texts, different divisions, some repeated also, some little modified, expanded. Different Samhitas are there, different stotras, suktas, prayers, hymns. And Atharva means, and everything else left in Atharva Veda. Whatever was not classified Rig, Yajur, Sama, it left in Atharva Veda. So many different topics are given there. So now, this Vedic knowledge, Krishna Dvaipayana Vyas, given Vedas to his prominent disciples. Rig Veda he given to Paila Rishi, Yajur Veda to Vaishampayana, Sama to Jaimini, and Atharva to Angira Muni. Though in Bhagavata and 12th Canto you will find that mentioned word Sumantu. He is also one of the recipients of the Vedas. And they heard from Krishna Dvaipayana Vyas, and he ordered them, now you teach this, you preach, you expand it also. So in their own meditation also, they went on expanding, and they taught their disciples also. So Paila Rishi, when he given to his disciples, ultimately divided in Rig Veda in 21 branches. So you have in each Veda 4 divisions: Samhitas, Brahmana portion, Aryanaka portion, and Upanishads portion. So in Rig Veda you find 21 Samhitas, 21 Brahmanas, 21 Aryanakas, 21 Upanishads. Vaishapayana expanded into 100 branches, Yajur Veda. Sama Veda was expanding to 1,000 branches, though they are short compared to the Yajur Veda. And Atharva was expanded to 9 branches. So totally we had actually a huge number. We had 1,130 Samhitas, 1,130 Brahmanas portions, 1,130 Aryanakas, and 1,130 Upanishads. Sometimes people say there are 11 Upanishads, some they say 108 Upanishads, but actually there are 1,130 Upanishads. Problem is today, you may say 108 most prominent Upanishads or 11 most prominent, or each Upanishad being considered the most important of all. But what we have today is 11 Samhitas left, 18 Brahmanas, 7 Aryanakas, and 220 Upanishads. So this is hardly 4% of the Vedas what we deal with today. No? So, they were lost. They were transmitted by oral receptions. This is very amazing with the Vedas, that Guru will speak to disciple will remember, memorize, just by hearing once, Shrutidaras. And then later on, as the age degraded, the people have to practice more and more. Memorize, no? And different Brahmanas will be given different shakas, different branches of Vedas to memorize, to learn, to remember. So you will find throughout India different shakas. Say, of Yajur Veda, Taittiriya portion is chanted in South India. Another portion of same Yajur Veda is chanted in Kashmir. Another portion is chanted in Bengal. You'll find a particular jati, particular Brahmin family, dynasty, clan, whatever you call it, in English. They will be chanting this particular Veda, and in the tradition, father, son, like this, they will learn and memorize like this. And you will see later on the different ways of memorizing it to protect it. Because they knew this is transcendental sound vibration. This is not different from God. Shutes to Shabda Mula Tvat. God is revealed through the sound of Vedas. How important is this sound? How amazing it is. And Brahmanas, they have these qualities to be peaceful enough to memorize. These are huge quantities of Vedas. From childhood, first thing is memorize Vedas. Then later on, you will be hearing explanations. And then later on, you will be initiated Guru and have particular Sampradayic view of the Vedas and understanding like that. But first thing is memorize the Vedas. Children from childhood, they'll be just, and the mind will be full of Vedic mantras, which is pure transcendental sound vibration. And then they help make good character people. Not only teaching itself the message, but sound itself purifies. Sound itself is so powerful. There is nothing to do with material sound. So Brahmanas were very important. They had to be good quality, they have to be peaceful, they have to have patience, sit and learn and study. You know, you memorize all Veda. Rig Veda means he knows the Rig Veda, he studied the Rig Veda, means he memorized it first. You know, Dvivedi, 2 Vedas he studied. Trivedi, he studied 3 Vedas. Chaturvedis, they studied 4 Vedas. What a learned people. You know, we struggle to learn few shlokas, you know. It's difficult for us, no? But they're trained. They're just trained to memorize thousands and thousands of shlokas. And then, as they grow, as they practice the sadhana, as they practice the Vedic culture, they become realized. They become actually self-realized. And then what is it, the Vedas? The different divisions, this is given according to the different message. Samhitas is, there are different prayers in the form of mantras, and they glorify different deities, and they give the idea, what is the goal of life, what is the purpose, how to achieve something, how to control mind and senses, everything is described in the Vedas. The Brahmana portion corresponds to each Samhita and guides people to perform sacrificial rites by offering prose explanation of the method of using mantras in yajna or the sacrifice. Now in Samhitas you find different prayers, say prayer to Vishnu. Now how to please Vishnu? In Brahmana portion, which is prose, which is not poetical like we have a Brahma Samhita or you have a Bhagavad-Gita, is not so poetical, is in the prose. Like we have some text in 5th Canto Bhagavatam, remember, just you can't chant it basically, you can just read it. So Brahmanas explain how to perform the yajna, how to perform this worship. They explain this. And then in the yajna itself, you will see there will be japa chanted, there will be chanted different suktas, different mantras will be chanted from Samhitas in that yajna itself. Then you have Aryanaka's portion of Vedas, forest trees, considered as supplements of the Brahmanas which offer different explanation rituals and contain powerful teaching, including various methods of meditation, upasanas. Now here, this is even more focus, more detail, why we are doing, more explanations, why we are doing puja to this deity and why to do it, and how to do it also. And you have then Upanishads. It is not that when you read Rig Veda, okay, now I'm reading Rig Veda Samhita, in the middle of Samhita there will be some portion of Aryanakas. In the middle of Aryanaka there will be Upanishad. It's blend. But according to their teachings and its very characteristic style and message, then you can segregate it like this. So then suddenly in the middle of the story you will find the Upanishad. Ishopanishad, the shortest of Upanishads, 18 shlokas are there. The gives immediately, just hints you directly to the Supreme Brahman, directly to the absolute truth. Speaks about the renunciation, speaks about the qualities of the Lord. Just directly spiritual topic. Doesn't go for material gain, doesn't go like karma kanda, pushpitam vacham, offering different benefits. Just directly speaking about giving up material world and how to actually control mind and senses, how to, get to moksha. So here you can say that Samhitas were subject matters of brahmacharis to study. They would study and they would chant it on different ritual, different occasion, different yajnas when it was performed. Brahmacharis would study that. You will see in Vedic lore, there was a system, how children are trained from the childhood, and they will assist in yajnas. Later on they will do themselves. For yajna you need shika, you need Brahmin thread, you need panchakacha, you need this kacha. And you will see after sannyasis who don't perform any more rituals, they cut shika, they cut Brahmin thread, they don't wear kacha anymore. Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not wear any of this. We painted in the pictures because we want to promote that we are devotees, identified as a devotees. But even Madhva sannyasis, if you come to Udupi, you will see them even today. They are Vaishnavas, but you will see no shika, no Brahmin thread, no kacha. Ekavastra or whatever, maybe simple cloth, 2 pieces of cloth maximum. So Why? Because they don't perform any more these rituals. It's a sign that sannyasi is socially dead. He doesn't do any social karmakanda for benefit of family, for benefit of this one, for achieving something. He has no material desires. He doesn't have to do karmakanda portion. 90% of Vedas is karmakanda portion. Means offering material result for your activity. So we'll see now. So Brahmanas for Grihastas. Grihastas, they have to do yagyas. The Grihasta has to say, Idam Vishnave, Idam Namama, this is for Lord Vishnu, it's not for me. Because they are so much attached. Aham Mameti, my family, my benefit for, something for me. So they have to practice detachment, they have to practice renunciation, they have to practice giving in charity. That is their dharma. That Aryanaka is meant for Vanaprasthas. More absorption, more of worship, meditation, deity worship, full absorption in the Lord. And Upanishads for sannyasis. Just absorbing knowledge of Brahman, knowledge of the Supreme. So here you will see that Samhitas, they deal with karma kanda portion. Sacrifice, rituals, how to get some benefit. Brahmanas also, karma kanda. Aryanakas upasana kanda. And upasana kanda, remember Srila Prabhupada mentioned that this is for Vaishnava, this is Vaishnava portion of the... Because the Upanishads are mostly, seems to be impersonal, though they are not impersonal. They are personal, but that it seems to be impersonal, so it's attractive to the Gyanis, it's attractive to the monists. And Jnana Kanda is that of the Upanishads. So here, the Rig Veda, you have 21 Samhitas. Some of the Samhitas mentioned here, famous Purusha Sukta in Mandala 10, Sukta 90, is found in Rig Veda. Of course, Purusha Sukta is very famous because it's found in all 4 Vedas. But there's slight variation, maybe few shlokas different or something. But it's most famous of Rig Veda. Then you have Brahmanas, famous Aitareya Brahmana, Sankhayana Brahmana, Aitareya Aryanakas, and as you expect, Aitareya Upanishad, Krishna Upanishad, Muktika Upanishad, like that. Valakilya Samhita is famous of Rig Veda also. So these are different portions, and you can see that when Acharyas quote Shruti, quote Vedas, this is the highest evidence, this is the proof, no discussion. You can see when Madhvacharya particularly, he quotes mostly Vedas. Whatever he wants to prove, he quotes Shruti first. Because there's some group of impersonalists, some group of Vedic philosophers who do not accept Puranas, Smriti, Puranas as a evidence, or consider them secondary evidence. They don't consider them so important as Shruti. So then Acharyas will quote from Shruti to establish Vishnu is supreme, Krishna is supreme, Bhakti is a process, God is personal, God is not impersonal, like that. And it's very powerful, and nobody discusses. Shruti is accepted. It's known. Today nobody knows anything really. Today ignorance is all pervading. But previously, any discussion, you mention Vedas, that's it. That's it. They will accept. Of course, there were different interpretations according to different schools and different realization. But when you quote the Vedas, it's simply no arguing about it. Such was the mood. And so many Brahmanas were studying it. They were discussing, they were commenting, It's amazing. Hear this. Yajur Veda was divided in 2, Shukla Yajur and Krishna Yajur. This is described in Bhagavatam, 12th Canto. If you remember that Vaishampayana got the sin of killing a Brahmana who was a disciple of Vyasadeva, who inherited from Vyasadeva Yajurveda, Vaishampayana Rishi. So when he was teaching his disciples Yajurveda, they helped him by doing austerities and different tapasyas to be free from that sin of killing Brahmana. So one of his disciples was Yajnavalkya, famous Rishi. And he said one day to his guru, Vaishampayana, that Guru Maharaj, let me do some tapasya. All these people, what they are doing, nothing they are doing. You'll never get free from this, sin of Brahmana. They're so weak that what punya you're getting from other disciples. I will do myself some terrific tapasya, and free you from that sin. So Vaishampayana didn't like this arrogance. He didn't like this pride. So he said, you are criticizing Brahmanas, your own god brothers. You are thinking you are better than others. Get out of here. I not teach you Yajurveda anymore. And whatever I teach you, vomit. So on the spot, he just vomited out, physically, So other disciples, they knew how many mantras he learned, how many things was revealed to him. So they took form of the, what is that bird called in English? Taitir. Taitir, this is a partridge. Partridge? Huh? How you say? Partridge, they say. Partridge is one type of bird. I know in my language the word, but I don't know exactly. Partridge. The one type of bird. It's not a pigeon, it's bigger than pigeon, it's a beautiful bird. So other disciples took their form and eaten up all the mantras, Because of that incident, because they learned it in that way, it is said that it became black. So you have Krishna, Yajurveda, black Veda from that. But Yajnavalkya went on to worship Surya Narayana, Lord Vishnu, in the form of Surya Narayana. And he did tremendous prayers and tapasyas, and Surya Narayana appeared to him. And he said, Yajnavalkya, what do you want? I want that to me be revealed Yajurvedic mantras which even my guru does not know. So this is Shukla Yajurveda, the white one, because from Surya it comes. So there's so many mantras are revealed. And Ishopanishad itself belongs to Shukla Yajurveda. So here, these are the divisions. So now you have Shukla Yajurveda, Krishna Yajurveda. You have Samhitas of Shukla Yajurveda, you have Samhitas on Krishna Yajurveda, you have Brahmanas of Shukla, it's all divided like that. So here you have Shatapatha Brahmanas, this is of Shukla Yajurveda. This is the biggest portion of Vedas, this is the biggest text. This is the tremendous, and is famous, quoted many times. Madhyandina Samhita, that is famous. Inside of that you find famous Brihadaryanaka Upanishad. Vajrasayani Samhita belongs to Shukla Yajurveda. Then you have Taittiriya Aryanaka, belongs to Krishna Yajurveda. And down Upanishad you can see Ishopanishad, S means Shukla Yajurveda. Brihadaryanaka, Shukla. Taittiriya Upanishad, Krishna Yajurveda. Shvetashvatara Upanishad, famous Krishna Yajurveda. Narayana Upanishad, Krishna Yajurveda. Katha Upanishad, Krishna Yajurveda. Like that. There are many more there, just to give some idea what is in the Vedas. So from all Vedas, what do we study? Only Ishopanishad, really. We go in the West and we say, this is Vedic knowledge, these are Vedas, this is but we have one book, Ishopanishad, Sri Ishopanishad. Okay. Samaveda. So some of the Ranayana Samhita, Panchavimsha, Shadvimsha, Chandogya, Adbhuta, Arsheya, Brahmanas, Chandogya Aranyakas, Jaimini Aranyakas, Chandogya Upanishad, Kena Upanishads are famous among those. And remember, Krishna says that I am Samaveda among the Vedas. You will see why soon. We'll show you how that one is chanted. It's in form of songs. It's not chanted like we chant Brahma Samhita. Ishvara, Parama, Krishna, Sachita, not like that. It is sung. It's a completely different tattva altogether. And because of that, Brahmanas are divided. Rig Vedas, Yajur Vedas, Samavedas, Atharva Vedas, and Agnihotris. Then you have all kinds of divisions of Brahmanas. And it's interesting that even Shikas will be, I forgot how it goes. Rig Vedas, they have Shika up like this. Samavedas on the side. It's just by looking of the person which Veda he studies. And of course there was one function, and the Brahmanas were invited, and Rig Vedas they sat one side, and when Samavedas were invited to sit with them to honor prasadam, they didn't want to sit with Rig Vedas. They considered them inferior. So there is it's going on from time immemorial like that. So you see, this is now everybody, all Brahmanas study the Vedas. So when you see some Brahmanas chanting, you may say, oh, are these Mayavadis or they are Vaishnavas? They may not be Mayavadis or Vaishnavas. They're simply Vedic Brahmins. You study everybody studies the same Vedas. But then, which Diksha you take from Guru, in which disciplic succession, then interpretation Vedas will be given, accordingly. Then you follow the Shankara's commentary, or you follow Madhva's commentary, you follow Ramanuja's commentary, like that, But it's not that there's so many Brahmins, just Vedic Brahmins. They don't believe, they are not Mayavadis. They may not be Vaishnavas also in that sense. Depends on their individual understanding, and depends also what did they study, Atharva Veda, 9 Samhitas, Shaunaka Samhita, Gopata Brahmana, but Aryanakas we don't have, not even one of Atharva Veda. But very interesting that there was a place in Orissa where Bhaktivinoda Thakur heard that some portions of Atharva Veda were still chanted. So he came there and write it down, what they are chanting, and this is how Chaitanya Upanishad was revealed. Bhaktivinoda Thakur published it after, and there was a jati of Brahmanas chanting Atharva Veda, and they were chanting Chaitanya Upanishad for hundreds of years, even before Chaitanya appeared. Yeah? So, this is here in the Atharva Veda, Mandukya Upanishad, Prashna Upanishad, Nrsinkatapani Upanishad, Atharva Upanishad, these are some famous Upanishads in the Vedas. So here, Namava Rig Vedo, Yajurveda, Sama Veda, Atharvanas, Chaturta, Itihasa Purana, Panchama Veda, Nam Vedaha. Now this is interesting. The Sama Veda, Chandogya Upanishad itself, Shruti, they are declaring Itihasas and Puranas as a 5th Veda. Now people say, we accept only Shruti, but Shruti says that Pancharatra and Itihasas are also Vedas. And in Sri Tattva Sandarbha, Jiva Goswami emphasized so much this. So many shlokas he quotes from Vedas, from Shrutis itself, from Smritis, that Puranas, they give the same message, the same meaning. We will be discussing this a little bit in detail. What is the difference? The difference is that Puranas, they focus, be more simple. Sanskrit, Puranic Sanskrit is much more simple than Vedic Sanskrit. So immediately people think inferior. But it's meant for people in Kali Yuga because we can't study. We can't study. Okay, Prabhupada's purport, let's say like this. According to learned scholars, there are 3 different sources of knowledge, which are called Prasthana Traya. Prabhupada speaks. Okay, what is this Prasthana Traya? Prabhupada says, therefore, Vedanta Sutra is known as Nyaya Prasthana. The Upanishads are known as Shruti Prasthana. And Gita, Mahabharata, Puranas are known Smriti Prasthana. All scientific knowledge of transcendence must be supported by Shruti, Smriti, and sound logical basis, Nyaya. Now you see, this is another view. What means Vedic? Vedic means Shruti, Smriti, Nyaya. 3 sources of knowledge. Okay. Now we'll see what is this all about. Prabhupada defines Shruti. Shruti in Sanskrit means what has been heard. Shruti. What you've heard. Because Vedas are eternal sound. You hear them and then you practice tapasya, you follow and you realize them. They are revealed to them. You learn from your guru, but then you have to realize. So in Shruti comes Rik, Yajur, Sama, Atharva. This is called Shruti. When you say Shruti, that is the 4 Vedas. Okay, here Prabhupada speaks. Shabda means sound vibration and Shruti means oral reception. So out of 3 processes, Pratyaksha, Anuma and Shabda, the Shabda Pramana, or receiving vibration, sound vibration, from authorities by oral reception, this is considered to be the perfect. So because it's transcendental sound, it's not created by human, it's revealed by the Lord to the rishis. You hear that, this is perfect knowledge, spotless, no mistake. Okay, now Prabhupada says like this. This is called Vedic injunction. You cannot argue. You have to accept it as it is. You cannot interpret. What education we have got, what intelligence, that we can interpret Vedic injunction. No, it should be accepted as it is. This is called Vedic injunction. This is called Shruti. You have to simply hear and act accordingly. This is called Vedic. This was the rule. you know. Sometimes even in common language, I heard people arguing something and say, why should I accept it? Is it Veda? It's just in the common, you know. Why you speak? So I should accept what you say. Is it Veda what you speak that I have to accept? You see, it was so much in the... Now this modern education ruined everything. Everything. Even locals that do not know what are the Vedas, what is inside, how much treasure, how much was preserved. You will see how much they preserved these Brahmanas Vedas, you know. But there was a curse, anyway, that we also discussed by the Gautama Rishi. Smriti. Then comes Smriti portion of Vedas. What has been remembered. Now Rishis, they heard the Vedas, they studied the Vedas. They live according to Vedas. Then how do they practice? Veda says Vishnu is supreme. How do we achieve Vishnu? How different devotees surrender to the Lord? How to practice, how to control mind and senses. What is remembered? I learn from my guru, then I apply in practice. I remember his instruction, I remember, you know, Smritis are these books which support the Vedas and act in that. Here, Prabhupada say, Smriti means if you are a learned scholar in the Vedic injunction, if you have heard from bona fide soul, and if you are convinced, then if you write something, that is Smriti. So now this is Rishi's writing. Like Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami wrote. It's a Smriti. It's his own realization, and it is according to conclusion of Vedas. And it is accepted as a Smriti. You have to write something which corroborates with the Vedic injunction. This is called Smriti. So Smriti Shastras are there. Okay, and the Nyaya. Why? Why is it so? Shruti says Vishnu is supreme. Smriti says you have to follow Navavida Bhakti to achieve. And Nyaya explains why you have to do that. Why is it? Why go this person? Why we should surrender? Why this material world is temporary? Why? There's explanation why. Why is it so? So here. Similarly, Brahma Sutra means Vedanta Sutra. Means the whole Vedic knowledge is given in codes, sutras. Brahma Sutra, Padaschaiva Hetu Madhibi. It is called Nyaya Prasthana. Nyaya means logic. Nyaya means there are three kinds of authorities. Shruti Prasthana, Smriti Prasthana, Nyaya Prasthana. So the Brahma Sutra is Nyaya Prasthana. Very logically given. And you can see, you know, we have shlokas in Bhagavatam. You have Gita shlokas a little smaller, you notice, a little shorter than Bhagavatam, verses can be really elaborate, you know. But then you have sutras, Vedanta Sutra, one line. Atato Brahma Jigyasa, Janmadhyasya Anandamaya Vyasat, Shrutesu Shabda Mulatvat, Tarka Pratishtanat. That's all. Tarka Pratishtanat, this is one shloka. But you see the purport, one book. Because it's so content, just essence given. In codes is written. So much explanation is given. Okay, here. So Shruti, what has been heard, Smriti supports it. And these are the books, the Puranas. 18 Mahapuranas, 18 Upapuranas. These are the main Smritis. Srimad Bhagavatam comes under the Smriti. 18 Puranas, you know, the Padma Purana, Vishnu Purana, Garuda Purana, Narada Purana, Brahma Vaivarta Purana, Varaha Purana, Vayu Purana, Shiva Purana, Linga Purana, Brihad Naradya Purana, Narada Purana, Matsya Purana. These are the 18 main Puranas. Then you have Upa Puranas, like Nrsimha Purana, then you have Kalki Purana, then you have Devi Purana, then you have some, you know, I don't remember all of them like that. Okay, Itihasas. Itihasas means the histories, where there is either one particular hero or one particular group of the hero, but the topic is focused on them. Mahabharata has 5 heroes, 5 Pandavas, and Ramayana has one hero, Lord Ram, as a main central figure, Itihasas. But Puranas, they have many topics. They are also histories. Purana means the old, and means also complete, that we'll discuss soon. But idea is that that Puranas really discuss all different topics. You remember 10 subjects, creation and sub-creation and protection and this and that and avatars and manus and so many topics are there. But here the whole focus is given on the heroes. So Mahabharata, you see 5 Pandavas. Of course, Krishna is there, but Krishna is really in background in Mahabharata. He is glorifying his devotee, he's promoting his devotee. They are the main heroes. This is Krishna's desire. In Ramayana, he himself is the hero, like that. So itihasas, they are considered smritis. Dharma Shastras. Then you have in Dharma Shastras different rules and regulations. Just like a law books. If somebody steals, if somebody takes the land, if somebody lies, if somebody takes the money, then what is the punishment? What is the system? What is to be done? What is not to be done? What is the marriage? What is the change? Can you adopt the children? So just Dharma Shastras, Manusmritis, Parashara Smritis, like that. These are famous. There are so many Dharma Shastras are there. Vedangas. Now Vedangas are the angas, limbs of the Vedas. First, you study Vedangas, then you can study Vedas. Because without knowing the Sanskrit, you can't study the Vedas. Tough Sanskrit. Vedic Sanskrit is tough. That our Sanskritananda Prabhu, Basugosh Prabhu's Sanskrit guru and friend, he studied the Vedas and he said that is, for him, after 40, 50 years of speaking Sanskrit, teaching Sanskrit, studying Sanskrit, he said, to read Rig Veda and to understand from the text itself, just like Basugosh Prabhu say, I can read Gita, I can understand without translation, Sanskrit shlokas. And Sanskrit Rana say, I can read Bhagavatam and without translation, I can directly from Sanskrit understand. But he say, but Rig Veda I cannot. It's so complex, it's different. It's pronunciation also different, the intonation is different. So this shiksha is intonation, how to pronounce properly. That must be studied first. Chandas means how to chant. We chant Dharma Kshetre, Kurukshetre, Samaveta Yutsava, Mamakaf Pandavas Chaiva, Kimma Kurvata Sanjaya. This is Anushtup meter. Then you have Trishtup meter. Then you have, you see, Vedic Brahmana, forgot even to speak of memorizing shlokas. There are different meters for chanting, Like Brahma Samhita, we have different meter to chant. In some longer shlokas in Bhagavatam, you see, we change the meter, like that. So there are authorized meters to be chanted. So chandas. Vyakaran. Vyakaran means grammar. We have to learn famous Panini Vyakaran or that Namamrita Vyakaran by Jiva Goswami, where by learning the names of the Lord Vishnu, you learn the grammar. He made it very Nirukti, dictionary, the deeper meanings, because one word may mean so many things. So you have Nirukti. So you have different Niruktis. There's quite what is that? Kosha, dictionary, Prabhupada's quotes, and then another few dictionaries are there. And then you have Jyotisha, you have the astrology, astrological calculation, when to perform the particular ritual, when to perform, where is the titi, when is the auspicious time to do yagya, where is the auspicious time to do fast, where is the auspicious time to break the fast, when is the auspicious time to get married. So all these things. So these Brahmanas will learn. Of course, the different Brahmanas, everybody will know generally about everything. Like Shiksha, Chandas, Vyakaran, Nirukti, you have to know. But some will be experts. There will be Brahmanas just for Jyotisha. There will be Brahmanas just for the Kalpas. Kalpas means these rituals, Yagyas, Pujas, how to do, all the details, There are Brahmanas, Agnihotris, just particularly for Yagyas. Then there are different Brahmanas to teach, as the teachers. There are preachers, Vachakas, Pachakas, cooks, Archakas, Pujaris. They're all different categories. But they have to all study these Vedangas. Without studying Vedangas, how will you understand the Vedas? It's not possible. So some people, some groups consider these Vedangas directly under Shruti. But it's discussable. Upavedas. Then you have Upavedas. Upavedas means supplementary to the Vedas. So supplementary to the Rig Veda is Ayurveda, famous medical science. Dhanurveda is supplementary of Yajurveda. Dhanurveda is art of fighting. Gandharva It's a supplementary Samaveda. It's a science of music, singing. How many ragas are there? Who knows? Huh? 7. 7 ragas. It said like this, 7 ragas. Then they say 108 ragas. They say 18,000 ragas. And they say they are unlimited ragas. Like that, you know. Different division is given. Okay. Then you have the Artha Shastra. This is supplementary to Atharva Veda. Artha Shastra means different pujas to achieve something. If you see anyway, no need to discuss. And writings of the Acharyas. Like we study Upadeshamrit. Upadeshamrit is the writing of Rupa Goswami. So that will come under Smriti. A rishi, self-realized soul, wrote the book based on his realization and according to conclusion of Vedas. And then Nyaya Shastra is there. Why is it so? These are famous 6 darshanas. These are the philosophical treasures. How to understand the absolute truth, how to understand reality. So you have Vaisheshika philosophy by Rishi Kanada. Basically what he says is that everything is combination of the atoms. Everything is, matter is cause of everything. And even they don't even talk about God, Kanada and Gautama, they don't discuss about God at all. Yoga and Sankhya, Karma, Mimamsa, they discuss about God, but it's a functional deity. Like Karma, Mimamsa say, karma is cause of everything. And even if God is there, he has to give a result according to karma. This is purpose of devatas. And then he quotes Vedas. So what is it? Nyaya Shastra. Nyaya of Gautama teaches, it's extremely focused on logic and methods of understanding. Pratyaksha, Anuman. He elaborates in full details. We did Anuman overview in half an hour. But if you see his Anuman overview, it's just amazing how logical, how powerful, how thoughtful these sages were. You know, it's amazing actually how people were intellectually have better capacity than we today. How they were more thoughtful, more spiritual. You know, from childhood they were kept only with the Vedas, with pure atmosphere, drinking cow milk. Not polluted food, no polluted topic. There was nobody to pollute them around, you know. And that brain was so fertile that they could discuss. Today, we can't discuss these topics. There's nobody to discuss with. Nobody, no discusser either. Nobody's interested either, you know. So, if you see all rules of logic, all rules of logic are elaborated there. What is the real logic? How to win the case? How to win the argument? How to make a opposition's argument your own arguments. How to make agreeable with the, you know, when you are defeated, you know, same thing I'm speaking. But how to present it, you know, how to divert. One should be vegetarian. You should stop eating meat. You should be vegetarian. Okay, it's a valid point. Why? You should not kill animals. Why to kill animals unnecessarily? It's a good argument, correct? It's a valid point. Then the opponent says, hey, you are speaking be vegetarian, but you are wearing leather shoes. Now this is consciously, purposely diverting the topic. I may be wearing leather shoes. Okay. Now if you tell me like this, I feel hurt. I feel, I'm myself not following. How can I speak? Correct? But the point that one should be vegetarian, that's a valid point. He's simply diverting the argument to something else. You know. And this is not valid argument. He says, I may wear leather shoes. I'm sinner, I'll go to hell, but you also, because you're not vegetarian. So you become vegetarian. You see, it just diverts the topic. You know. Why do you do this? Everybody did. But that doesn't free you from sin of doing it. It's because everybody did. You know. Yeah? It's not only me. Why you did? It's not only me. Why you are stealing from the shop? Oh, so many people are stealing. And that won't do with judge. Judge will punish you. All right, others will also come. So they elaborate so much of this logic. What is argument, counter-argument, this, that, how to defeat, how to blast, how to defeat politely, how to defeat that you finish him off forever, you know. You know, there's a different. Sanyaya, Gautama Muni discussed so much of this. Pratyaksha Pramana. If you see Pratyaksha, we discuss, but how he discusses, it's, it's really complex. So many divisions, 6 divisions, another 6 divisions, another this one, that one, it's just amazing. Yoga, Patanjali, he says that the practice of yoga asana, one can purify the consciousness. And he elaborates these teachings of yoga and famous Yoga Sutras he gives. And Prabhupada's quote him for that he accepts the transcendental senses there, and that through transcendental senses one can achieve the transcendental bliss. Sankhya, this is a Kapila, not Lord Kapila from 3rd Canto Bhagavatam, this is atheistic Kapila, who analyzes the elements, Sankhya, 24 elements, and he discusses that what is the absolute truth, what is the origin of everything, what is basis of everything, these elements, like that. Karma Mimamsa describes, like we have Atato Brahma Jigyasa. Karma Mimamsa starts, Atato Karma Jigyasa. This is the first sutra, how the Karma Mimamsa starts. And also a lot of topic is first given on epistemology. What is Pratyaksha, what is Anuman, what is Arsha, what is idea, what is Acheshta, what is accepted, what is not accepted. Then go on karma discussing. This is amazing, Karma Mimamsa. And then Vyasadeva himself, after seeing this Vedic, half of them atheistic, basically, not really revealing the Lord. But gradually, you see, the thing is, gradually one group defeated another. Nyaya defeated Vaisheshika, Yoga defeated Nyaya, Sankhya defeated Yoga. It was like that, upgrading. Then last Vyasadeva came. I said, Brahma Mimamsa. Brahman is there. It's not matter cause. It's not combination of matter cause. It's not karma cause. Brahman is there. Consciousness, spirit is there. He introduced that. No? Brahma Mimamsa, or this is called Vedanta Sutra by Vyasadeva. So, you see, this Nyaya and Smriti, they are not independent of Shruti. They have to support the Shruti. Now you may say that where you get all these divisions from, and Prabhupada never mentions all these books and this, that. But it's not like that. If you see carefully in Bhagavad-Gita purport 1032, Srila Prabhupada mentions 14 books of education. Here I'm reading from the purport. For advanced education, there are various kinds of books of knowledge, such as the 4 Vedas, their 6 supplements, Vedangas, the Vedanta Sutra, books of logic, books of religiosity, these are Dharma Shastras, and the Puranas. So altogether there are 14 divisions of books of education. So you see, Srila Prabhupada mentioned all these 14. Of these, the book which presents Adhyatma Vidya, spiritual knowledge, in particular the Vedanta Sutra, represents Krishna. So here you can see that these are these 14 books of education. Prabhupada says divisions of books of education. 4 Vedangas, 4 Vedas, 6 Vedangas, and 4 Upangas. So these are all the classification we already seen. Just this is general division. There are 14 books of education. No? But you may say, how is possible? They came with atheism out of it. Yeah, you see, Gautama Muni is a great rishi, and all credit for logic goes to him. But conclusion, we won't follow his conclusion. He elaborated one branch of Vedas in great detail, But the conclusion won't be followed. This is why is it so? Thus, due to great variety of desires and natures among human beings, there are many different theistic philosophies of life, which are handed down through the tradition, custom, and disciplic succession. There are other teachers who directly support atheistic viewpoint. Now, Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur gives explanation of that. How is it possible that by studying Vedas you become atheist? Some of them did, no? Because, this Kapila, Gautama, Kannada, they don't really speak about God. God is non-important factor in their writing at all, So here, you may say Vedic atheism, but it's atheism ultimately. So here, the Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur gives the explanation. The water of Ganga is always pure and very sweet. On the banks of that great river, however, there are several types of poisonous trees whose roots drink up the Ganga water from the soil and use it to produce poisonous fruit. Similarly, those who are atheistic or demoniac utilize their association with Vedic knowledge to produce poisonous fruits or atheistic or materialistic philosophy. Nigama Kalpa. Kalpataru. Vedas fulfill all desires. You see, even people quote Prabhupada and try to push some funny philosophy like Ritvik and something, Correct? No. From Prabhupada's books, he is convinced that no guru except Prabhupada. But Prabhupada said, all my disciples should be gurus. No, Ritvik gurus, not the guru. So he's putting some explanation to that. So this is interesting. But you see, these darshanas, they are so philosophical, they're so much elaborated. And then it is said, one should not sit on Vyasasan unless he can defeat the 6 darshanas. Okay? Now you may say, my goodness, we never heard about 6 darshanas before. But doesn't matter. By studying Prabhupada's books, we are actually defeating all 6 darshanas. Vaisheshika say everything is combination of atom. Gautama says everything is combination of molecules. Rishi was sitting and looking at his toe. And he's looking, outside covering, inside covering. He saw the subtle body, he saw the elements, he saw the atom. He said everything is atom. That was his realization. I'm not this body, he's fully realized. But what I am, this is what I see is made of material elements. So he said, matter is cause of everything. What did the modern science say? Matter is cause of everything. So Prabhupada blasted them. He knew. He could defeat them. So if you study Prabhupada's books, automatically you are defeating this, even you do not know their names. Doesn't matter. Nirvishesha Shunyavad. Shunyavadis are Buddhists who don't accept even Shrutis, they don't accept Smritis, they don't accept Nyaya. Of course, Nyaya they accept. Everything is based on logical discussions. Only on logic they accept. But they accept their own agamas, their own Shrutis they have. So, Shunyavadis are defeated. Nirvisheshavadis, that Lord is impersonal, that's also defeated. That's also very much defeated. Okay, so we'll go next. Now, this we discussed, let's see, okay. Now, although there is other evidence, the evidence given in Vedic version must be taken as foremost. Vedic versions understood directly are first-class evidence. Conch shell and cow dung are nothing but the bones and stool of certain living entity, but according to Vedic version, they are both considered very pure. And simply this is accepted. Now scientists went on analyzing cow dung and find antiseptic elements are there. It's really purifying. Good morning, but we knew for thousands of years. No? The Vedic statements are self-evident. Whatever they state must be accepted. If we interpret according to our own imagination, the authority of Vedas is immediately lost. Yes, this is the thing. You accept, you don't speculate. Just remember, Raso ham apsu kauntaya. I'm taste of water, Krishna says. Now you may think how Krishna is taste of water, but you can't say whether Krishna is taste of water or not. Like Prabhupada so much complains. They are speaking about this Dharma Kshetra, Kurukshetra, Samaveta Yutsa, Mamaka of Pandavas Chaya. Pandavas are 5 brothers, 5 senses, and Kurukshetra is this body. And they just twisted the meaning, Now where is devotion? Where is the bhakti if you kill the Pandavas in the first shloka of Bhagavad-Gita, Then who is surrendering? Surrender to your body, It's crazy what they do, It's prohibited. It's not allowed, speculating. And actually the Vedas are lost today. Hardly anybody can study, anybody can understand. There was a curse of Gautama Muni. He got a blessing from his piety that his field of rice will never be dried up. Whatever weather happens around, his rice field will be always wet. So when drought was there in that area, he invited all Brahmanas to his place and fed them nice. So after some time, weather changed again, as here in Salem happened. After 10 months of no rain, finally so much rain came. Krishna's mercy. All the Brahmanas, they wanted to leave. After rain came, they wanted to go back to their places. But Gautama Muni was so attached to serving them. They said, please don't go, you cannot go. So they thought too much, we can't refuse him. He hosted us, he fed us, he saved our life. But they were attached to their place. We want to go. But I will maintain you, I will supply. No need to go, be with me. We are chanting the Vedas, we are doing the yagyas, no problem, But they wanted to go, but they didn't know how to do it. So they created the imaginary cow. So they made a trick on Gautama. So Gautama saw this unusual cow. So he came to touch and cow fell dead. They bluffed. They Brahmanas created. So he was shocked. Oh, I killed the cow. Oh, very inauspicious. We will not stay at this place. And all Brahmanas left. They took the opportunity like that. But problem is, Gautama Muni sat in meditation and prayed to Lord. Lord, I killed the cow. What do I do? And it was revealed to him. You did not kill the cow. They played trick on you. And he cursed. You will not be able to remember Vedas anymore. You will not be able to follow Vedas. You will degrade. All Vedas Vedas will not be in your hands anymore. And this is how Vedas are lost, by degradation of Brahmanas, by curse of Gautama, not that Vedas are wrong or something. They were just withdrawn. They are not lost. They are there in the ether. They are there, eternally present. But how many rishis today can access this transcendental sound vibration of the Vedas? Very rare are those. So here, the Vedas were so important, there was awareness among Brahmanas how Vedas are important. This is Shabda Brahmana, it's Shabda Brahma, transcendental sound vibration from the Lord himself. Lord speaks. How important is this? So they devised a mean of memorizing it and preserving it. Now you may memorize something, but how you ensure that no word is changed, that nothing is changed, that meaning is not changed, that in way that was spoken should not be changed. In Sanskrit, if one letter you change, it means something else. Like we say, Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasada. But next line, Yasya prasadam. Devotees sing, Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasado, Yasya prasadat nagatikala. But it's not like that. It's aprasadam. If you don't please, prasada means to please. Mercy. Prasada means mercy. Yasya prasadat, by mercy of the Guru, Bhagavat prasada. You will get mercy of the Lord. Yasya aprasadam. If you don't please the Guru, nagati kutopi, you will not achieve God's mercy. So you see, one word, one letter, A is added. It complete opposite meaning. So how to preserve? You memorize, but even one long pronunciation, one intonation wrong, one letter added. We don't know how to pronounce. I'm particularly devotees from the West. They have great difficulties pronouncing simple shlokas from Bhagavad-Gita and even saying Bhagavad-Gita. Many times, Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam is the Bhagavatam. But you see, even this much we can't pronounce, But the meaning is changing in Sanskrit. So what they divided the 11 ways of memorizing Vedas. Samhita part. This is as we are chanting. Dharmakshetre, Kurukshetre, Samaveta Yutsava, Mahamakaf, Pandavaschaiva, Kima Kurvata Sanjaya. This is Samhita part. The second one is Pada part. That each word is pronounced very clearly, separately. It's not chanted Dharmakshetre, Kurukshetre, say Dharma, Kshetre, Kuru, Kshetre, like this. Each word is separate chant. Then you have Krama part, which goes 1, 2, 2, 3. Dharma kshetra, kshetra, kuru, kuru kshetra. Goes like this, They memorize it like this. Then Jatha part. 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, 2. Dharma kshetra, kshetra, dharma, dharma, kshetra, kshetra, kuru, kuru, kshetra, kshetra, kuru, kuru, kshetra, 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 kuru, kuru, kshetra. It goes on like this. Now this is short shloka, but when it's prose, when Yajurveda is in prose, then you have 9 letters in the sentence, or you have 9 words in the shloka or more. You know how it goes, and they memorize like this. Then they went on Malapat. 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 3. Anybody want to try? Shikapat. 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 3, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4. And sounds beautiful for chanting. Then Rekapat. 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it goes on like this. Slowly rolling. Dvajapat. You see, say in Dvajapat we put 9 because, say, this is a shloka which has 9 words. But look how it's chanted. 1, 2, 8, 9. Dharma kshetre And last two words. What are the last two words? Kimma kurvata. Akurvata sanjaya. Then you go. Dharma kshetre, akurvata sanjaya, kurukshetre. You see? Yeah. And then 7, 8. You see how is memory? Means he knows it up and down, left and right. He knows the shloka. You can, and because of this chanting, intonation, pronunciation, interpunction, everything is, you can't miss anything. Nothing. You can't add, you can't extract. Look what Brahmanas did. Look what they did. Dvajapada, Dandapada. 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2 means reverse is going. And any of these can be chanted reversals. And Ratapath, and then you have Ganapad. Look at the Ganapad mantra. You see that? This is the most beautiful to hear. And you have Samaveda. Samaveda chanted in Ganapad. This is like spiritual sense gratification. Topmost, you know. So you have Chaturvedi Ganapad. Chaturvedi Ganapati means he learned 4 Vedas, he can chant. Some, maybe not, but he can chant in Ganapad. You know how they memorize. How dear are Brahmanas to Krishna? How dear they are. They are preserving Shabda Brahma. They, like a password. You are putting passwords in your cell phone, in your email, you know. Look at this password. You break this one. You can't. And he goes Ganapad chanting reverse. Don't believe. Faithless non-believer. Okay, here you go. Let's see like this. Yajurveda part. Okay, here first he is going to chant Samhita part. You will hear the mantra chanted like we are chanting regular chanting. Then you will hear Pada part, how he is chanting each word distinctly, clearly, separately, with gap between the words. Then here he chants Jata part and last one Ganapad. And you will see the difference. Same small shloka. In Ganapad becomes, like 15 minutes. It's amazing. Hear this. These are Vedic Pandits. These are not Smartas, these are not Sri Vaishnava, these are not... It's just Vedic Pandits. Okay, he gives little explanation. Okay, Samhita part first, regular chanting. Yajurveda. You understood? He shifted to Padapad now. Word by word. There is break between the words. Ravana introduced Padapad. Vishnu given Samhita Pad. Ravana introduced Padapad. And he was famous for that. And he was chanting so nicely, the Devatas simply obliged him. You know the famous Lila when Agni was with Indra and suddenly he heard Ravana's chanting Padapad and offering oblations to Agni. So Indra told him, don't go, this Ravana is rascal, he's a demon, he's killing everyone's wives, don't go there. Agni's wife is Swaha. His Agni Hotra is going on. So Agni was thinking, oh, Indra is envious because Ravana is praising me, not him, So I will go. So he went there, appeared in the sacrificial fire, and Ravana offered pranam, and Agni did like this, accepted back. He opened his eyes and Swaha was gone, and Ravana was gone. He kidnapped his wife. This is Ravana. So, but anyway, Padapad is there. Okay, now Jatapad. No, I see. What they are chanting here? Let me see where it is. Padapad. Now Kramapad will be there. Kramapad means 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4. Second word is repeated. Dharma kshetra, kshetra kuru, kuru kshetra, kshetra. Like that. 1, 2, 2, 3. Like that. Hear this.
Uta Mata Mata Mahisham Mahishamanu Anvavenat Avenadami Amitva Amityami Tvajahati Jahati Putra Putra Deva Deva iti Deva Atha Abravit Abravit Rudram Rudramindraha Indra Hanishyan Hanishyan Sakhe Sakhe Vishnu Vishnu Vitaram Vishnu iti Vishnu Vitaram Vitaram iti Vitaram Vikramasva Kramasveti Kramasva.
You heard that? Okay, next one will be next one Jatapat. Now look at Jatapat is look at this. 1 2 2 1 1 2 2 3 3 2 2 3 3 4 4 3 3 4. Now there is a tune. Now particular tune will be chanted, and you'll see it sounds very nice. All right, where you are?
Uta Mata Mata Uta Mata Mata Mahisham Mahisham Mata Mata Mahisham Mahisham Vadu Mahisham Mahisham Anvavena Tavena Anvavena Ami Avena Tavena Tami Amitva Atvami Amitva Amityami Tvajahati Jahati Putra Putra Jahati Jahati Putra Putra Deva Deva Putra Putra Deva Deva iti Deva Atha Abravit Abravit Atha Abravit Abravit Rutram Rutram Abravit Abravit Rutram Rutramindra Indra Rutram Rutramindraha Indra Hanishyan Hanishyan Indra Indra Hanishyan Hanishyan Sakhe Sakhe Hanishyan Hanishyan Sakhe Sakhe Vishnu Vishnu Sakhe Sakhe Vishnu Vishnu Vitaram Vitaram Vishnu Vishnu Vitaram Vishnu iti Vishnu Vitaram 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 iti Vitaram Vikramasva Kramasva Vikramasva Kramasveti Kramasva.
Now Ganapat. You want to see the formula? It's very complex, and there are 4 ways, and then there's reversals. You see what they did? They really protected Vedic sound vibration. They knew this is sacred and this is our life. We have to learn, we have to memorize it, we have to protect it. Even it is said that till Vedas are chanted by Brahmanas, the sun will rise up. If they stop, sun will not rise up. It is such a important. There is no life. There is no way out of material world unless if knowledge is lost. And they did everything, these Brahmanas. Therefore, Brahmana is never killed. Brahmana is never punished. Brahmana is never beaten physically. Brahmana is never left in distress. You can't steal anything from Brahmana. Why? Because there's such an important role in society. They have a knowledge, the key, how to come out of material world. And look what they did. Look at this. Look what they did. Even today they are chanting. You know? Can you imagine the days of yore? How, it's amazing. Here this Ganapat is beautiful. Here it is. They are on half. They are on half. Okay, so you got some idea, no? It's real. It's not just. It's still going on. It's still going on some places, you know. There are some others, you know. Here a little bit Samaveda chanting is different from the regular Vedic chants. I mean, same party. You know? Samhita Aryanaka he's chanting from Sama. That was Brahma. You see how they chant, singing, and they have intonation. That what swaras going up, going down, what to chant, you know, where to put accent. It's I'll give you some idea. Krishna says in Bhagavad-Gita, Vedas, I'm the Sama. Now, it's most beautifully chanted as latest. Okay, so I'll give you some idea. All right, so here we are. This is the to preserve unwritten Vedas in their original form, to safeguard their tonal and verbal purity. So many rules to make sure that not a syllable was changed in chanting, not a swara was altered. These Brahmanas, they made this division. Therefore, they are so dear to Krishna. Here, these are the rishis who did this. Oops, how do I get this now? Where are my rishis? The shingles are missing. Okay, here. How did they come here? Okay. Here, these are the rishis. Vishnu introduced the Samhita Pad, Padapad by Ravana, Vabraya Rishi, Kramapad, Jatapad, Vyadi Rishi, Malapad, Vashishta, Shikapad, Bhrigu Rishi, Rekapad, Ashtavakra, Dvajapad, Vishwamitra, Dandapad, Parashara Muni, Ratapad, Kashyapa Rishi, and Ganapad, Atri Rishi. So who was studying under them, they would chant in this way, in these matters. And still it's all over India. Still. And now there was an article published by this Sanskrit Society of India. They said that this shaka of this Veda is lost. The last Brahmana died and his children are in America doing software business. They didn't learn. No, it's a fact. And also Samavedi Brahmins from Udupi. Last one is gone. His sons learn half, something they learn, not fully. Both are working, doing business, not doing Brahmanical job. You see that? So now you understand, king will maintain Brahmanas. They will not work. They have so much important work. They preserve the Vedas. Why Brahmanas so much importance given? And they had qualities to do that. And they have to behave also top class. They're top class citizens of the kingdom. Okay, so here, the Krishna given Lord to Brahma, Brahma to Narada Muni, and we got the Shrutis, and we got Smritis, elaborated in Nyaya. But what happened when Vedic knowledge was lost? Lord appeared to Brahma, and in 5 nights, he given summary of Vedic knowledge called Pancharatra Agamas, which is called Vaishnava Tantra. Tantra means simply shortcut. So in 5 nights, Lord Vishnu teach Narada Muni, Prahlad, Shandilya Rishi. So you have all these Pancharatric books, which we also follow. Pancharatra Agamas. The 5 rishis headed by Narada wrote Pancharatra to teach the people about practical devotional service. That's Bhaktivinoda Thakur said. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is himself the speaker of Pancharatra philosophy. O best of kings, the Pancharatra philosophy is seen in the best of all philosophies. That is from Moksha Dharma. Vaishampayana speaks. So you have Narada Pancharatra, Hayashirsha Pancharatra, Shandilya Pancharatra, Kapila Pancharatra, Prahlad Pancharatra, Vaihayasa Pancharatra. We follow Narada Pancharatra. And Narada Pancharatra, we have book in deity worship, Pancharatra Pradipa. And from Narada Pancharatra, the Hari Bhakti Vilas came. And from Hari Bhakti Vilas, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu book. Based on so many rules in worship deities and commit offenses, not to commit offenses, what is pure bhakti and like that. Here, Prabhupada says, Pancharatrika Vidhi is the method of temple worship, and Bhagavata Vidhi is system of 9 processes which begin with hearing and chanting. The Krishna consciousness movement accepts both processes simultaneously, and thus enables one to make steady progress on the path of realization of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, but it is easy for us to worship the deities. It is good for focus in mind, for getting purified Pancharatric with its deity worship. So when we combine both processes, then a very quick advancement is there. So famous Shloka Shruti Smriti Puranadi Pancharatra Vidim Vina Aikantiki Harer Bhakti Utpatayava Kalpate. Devotion service of the Lord that ignores authorized Vedic literatures like Upanishads, Puranas, Narada Pancharatra, simply an unnecessary disturbance in society. So this is quoted by Prabhupada. You speak something but you don't follow what Shastra says, and including Pancharatras. Okay, so we have these 4 things: Shruti, Smriti, Nyaya, and Pancharatra Agamas. Okay, this is the whole Vedic literature. Okay, Prabhupada says like this. In our Krishna consciousness movement, we have therefore limited our study of Vedic literatures to Bhagavad-Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, and Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. These 4 works are sufficient for preaching purposes. They are adequate for the understanding of all philosophy and the spreading of missionary activities all over the world. Look at this statement of Prabhupada. He says 4 books are enough. Now here we can see the Shruti, Rig Veda, Samaveda, Yajurveda, Atharvaveda. The essence of all Shruti is spoken in Bhagavad-Gita. Gita is considered Gita Upanishad. Because it's spoken by the Lord, it's counted as a Shruti also. Although it is spoken in the middle of Mahabharata, which is Smriti, it is accepted as Shruti by all the Acharyas, because Krishna himself speaks it. So Gita is the essence of all Upanishads. Famous Gita Mahatmya by Shankaracharya, he says, Ekam Shastram Devaki Putra Gitam. One should study one Shastra only, Devaki Putra Gitam, the Bhagavad-Gita song spoken by son of Devaki. Okay, now in Smritis, how to practice what Shruti says. Vishnu is supreme, Krishna is supreme. How to practice this? How to apply in life? No? This is called Smriti. How do different devotees achieve love of God? You will see in Bhagavatam, what do you have? You have Ambarish Lila, you have Ajamila Lila, you have Prahlad's Lila, you have Durvasa Muni's, Dhruva Lila, you have Kunti Maharani's praise, you have Bhishma's praise, showing how do we surrender to that Supreme Lord. Correct? So this is elaborated in Chaitanya Charitamrita, that what is how to love God, how to serve God, how to develop love for God. That is described here. Then Vyasadeva wrote Brahma Sutra, Vedanta Sutra. After that, still he was dissatisfied. Narada Muni comes and tells him, because you did not explain about direct leelas of Krishna. You did not explain Lord as a person. You did not discuss his leelas at all. You misguided everyone with all other shastras. So then his own commentary, after writing Vedanta Sutra, he wrote Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is natural commentary on Vedanta Sutra, Srimad Bhagavatam. Explaining the ultimate Vedanta, end of the Vedas, means the last knowledge of Vedas. Still, after writing Vedanta, he wrote one more book, Srimad Bhagavatam. And this is the topmost. This is the natural commentary, author's own commentary on Vedanta Sutra. And essence of Pancharatra Agama's nectar of devotion. So now we don't have to really go through market and get the Vedas, and we are so excited. We've seen all these different divisions, we study the Vedas. We can't. We are really not really qualified, Here, not only that, but all acharyas accept that Puranas and Itihasas have more importance than Vedas in Kali Yuga. Oh lovely one, Varanana, I consider the message of Puranas more important than that of Vedas. The Puranas provide a firm foundation for all the Vedas. Of this there is no doubt. So this is quoted by Srila Jiva Goswami. He says in Tattva Sandarbha, Shloka 12, the authoritative sound of Vedas is impossible for anyone in present times to study completely. Its meaning is difficult to understand. And even great sages who have explained it in commentaries disagree among one another. For these reasons, we would be well advised to turn our attention to Shabda Pramana of Itihasas and Puranas. So this is the secret, that actually in Kali Yuga for us is accessible. You see, 96% of Vedas, 94% gone, something like this. 94 or 96. 4% we have, 6% we have, something, I don't know, I didn't calculate. But we have Puranas. Okay, we have Itihasas, Mahabharata, Ramayana. And by studying those, we get the same message from Vedas, same conclusion is given in simple Sanskrit and common man can understand. Remember the Bhagavatam, Piazza will say, for the woman, Shudras, and low-born, I write in Mahabharata, Itihasas. Now, here, so they can get benefit, not to condemn people, but look, Kalau Shudra Sambhava, you can see in Kali Yuga, everybody has brain of Shudra. Janama Jayate Shudra, by birth everyone is Shudra in Kali Yuga. This is from Brihad Aryanaka Upanishad, Madhyandina Shruti, that Yajurveda. Thus indeed, the bread of this Supreme Being constitutes the Rig Veda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, Atharva Angirasa Veda, Itihasa and Purana. Now the Shruti itself says that yes, Itihasas and Puranas, they are not different from Vedas. They are not less evidence. They are not less Shabda Brahma. They are also Shabda Brahma. Itihasa Purana Abhyam Vedam Samupam Brimyayat iti. One should complete the Vedas with Itihasas and Puranas. Mahabharata and Manusmriti says. Puranam Purnam iti. That Puranas, by studying Puranas, you complete the study of the Vedas. That's why it's called Puranas. Indeed, Rig, Yajur, Sama and Atharva are the names of the four Vedas. The Itihasas and Puranas are the fifth Veda. Itihasa Purana Panchama Vedanam Vedaha. And Prabhupada writes, above the four Vedas, hear this, above the four Vedas, namely Rig, Yajur, Sama and Atharva, there are Puranas, Mahabharata, Samhitas, which are known as the fifth Veda. Now Brahma Samhita, don't mistake as a Samhita of any Veda, it is Pancharatric Samhita. It belongs to Pancharatric books. I believe Narada Pancharatra belongs to that. Okay. So, here, Sarva Vedati Hasanam Saram Saram Samudritam. The essence of all Vedic literature and all histories has been collected in Srimad Bhagavata. Sarva Veda, Itihasanam also. Now he is including Itihasas also. Not only essence of Vedas, essence of Itihasas also. And in Bhagavad, you will see in Puranas, Matsya Purana, they said is the eldest of all Puranas. And he gives list of other Puranas. And gives characteristics of other Puranas. And say, Bhagavad Purana is Purana which describes Vritrasura Lila, which describes Durvasa Muni Lila, and has this many shlokas. And 10th Canto describes Krishna Lilas. And then says, this is the transcendental Purana, above all other Puranas. There itself is given. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that the Bhagavatam is the topmost. Of course, Krishna Swadhama Pagate, famous shloka. This Bhagavad Purana is as brilliant as the sun, and it has arisen just after the departure of Krishna to his own abode. accompanied by religion, knowledge, etc. Person who lost their vision due to the dense darkness of ignorance in the age of Kali shall get light from this Purana. Remember when after the Krishna Lilas of Vidra, Krishna left, but Dharma also left. So rishis panicked. What do we do? Where do we go? And Shukarya said, you take shelter of Bhagavatam. That this will illuminate. That will give the guidance. That will give the path how to develop love for God. So therefore Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanam Amalam. For us, it is accepted as topmost Veda, the topmost Shastra. Srimad Bhagavatam is a spotless authority on everything, according to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is from Sri Chaitanya Manjusha by Srinath Thakur, famous. Aradhyo Vrajesha Tanayas Tadhama Vrindavanam. That is a famous shloka that summarizes the teachings of the philosophy. So here you go. So we have to consult from Vedas and from the right person. Tad Vijnanartam Sagurum Eva Abhigachet. Samhitpani Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. Samhitpani means you collect the wood, firewood for vatras, for the fires, or for yagyas. You serve the Guru means Shrotriyam. You hear Shruti. You hear the Vedas. Brahmanishtam, from one who is realizing Brahman. Now, but you have to approach a Guru. Not that you purchase one book, Vedas, from the market. That's exactly what I did. I was so curious. What's in these Vedas? I purchased the Vedas. And then after I saw Prabhupada scolding, well, just, a little curious. Was it? Curiosity kills the cat. Not that you purchase one book, Vedas, from the market and you become Vedantist. No, that's not possible. Tad vijnanartam sagurum eva bigachet. Must go to understand. Tadvidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. You must approach the Guru. This is the system. This is Krishna's system. He made himself available through Vedas, but Vedas you learn from Guru, not that you learn on your own. So here, the transcendental sound of the Vedas, it itself the highest evidence. But one whose senses and mind are entangled in sense gratification, mental speculation, and whose heart is therefore carved by material dust, cannot directly receive the transcendental Vedic message. And indeed, Vedas are not spoken in front of women and in front of Shudras. They will never hear the transcendental sound of Vedas. There was a fear that they will remember and twist it, being corrupted by the mind, being in lower modes. It was never spoken in front of women and never spoken in front of it would not be discussed, it would not be taught to the Shudras, because they would misuse. They will not, because of their corrupted character, they will not hold it. They will not be able to preserve it properly. They will be tempted and misuse it. Okay, here. Krishna says, I don't appear to everyone. I choose to whom I want to appear. You can't just go and read Vedas and I will now directly. No. Yasya deve para bhaktir, yatha deve tata guru, tasyaite katita hyartha, prakashante mahatmana. One who has faith, pure faith in the Guru and the God, then Lord will reveal himself. This is the system. Vedas are revealed. They are not learned by intellectual capacity. It's not that, oh, Prabhuji, you know so much. God reveals according to one's surrender. It's not that, oh, you are so intelligent, you have good memory. What do? I drink Brahmi, Rasayanam every day, so I have good memory and I can understand the Vedas. Nonsense. It's not mechanical. It's not by intelligence. It's not by any... What is the method? What is the method? Method is you surrender. That's the method, Everyone has to surrender. That is the method. There is no other method. And Vedic knowledge is revealed. Vedas are eternal. They're always there. They were revealed to rishis. So this is the system. Okay. Here Prabhupada speaks. No kind of material qualification is the means for satisfying Supreme Personality of Godhead. As stated in Gita, only by devotional service can Lord be known. Bhaktya mam abhijanati. Unless the Lord is pleased by the service of devotee, the Lord does not reveal himself. This is the verdict of all Shastras. Neither by speculation nor by material qualification can one understand or approach Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now this is nice, take it reverse. That one doesn't have to be born in Brahmin family, one doesn't have to be rich, one doesn't have to be intelligent to get the favor from the Lord. Of course, has to be intelligent enough to approach a Guru. That's much qualification. Okay. Only out of his immense compassion does the Personality of Godhead reveals himself as the spiritual master. How Lord reveals himself as a spiritual master. Therefore, in the dealing of Acharya, There are no activities but those of transcendental loving service to the Lord. He is the supreme personality of servitor Godhead. You see how Prabhupada say, who is Guru? Supreme personality of servitor Godhead. It is worthwhile to take shelter of such a steady devotee who is called Ashraya Vigraha, or the manifestation or form of the Lord, of whom one must take shelter. Lord comes as a Guru. Already we mentioned that shloka before. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Krishna helps Jiva in the power of Guru, as a Chaitya Guru, Paramatma in the heart, and as a Shruti Brahmana, as a Vedas, scriptures. Okay. So here, Avaroha Panta, Paramatma, Vedas and Guru. Prabhupada says, Shastra Guru, spiritual master, Shastra Guru, Atma Rupe. And sometimes he comes himself, or as a Paramatma, or the Super Soul. He's giving you instruction from within as Paramatma. He's sending you suitable spiritual masters so you can have instruction without. And the books are the scriptures are there. No? So this is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said. Already shlokas were quoted previous slides. Guru Sadhu Shastra. How many times you heard Prabhupada? Guru Sadhu Shastra. How many times? Not you speak whimsically. Guru Sadhu Shastra. Here. The most important process is hearing, Shravanam, from the Guru, Sadhu and Shastra, spiritual master, the saintly acharyas and the Vedic literatures. What is the difference between Guru and Sadhu? Guru means your own Diksha Guru. Sadhu means Guru Parampara and all great rishis prefold. That's the difference. Here, Krishna is a dokshaja, beyond the perception, sense perception. But through the Shastra we can understand a little bit of Krishna, Prabhupada said. It is very difficult to know. We cannot understand. Krishna is unlimited. We are limited. Still, whatever limited power we have got, we can understand Krishna. We follow the Shastra, Sadhu and Guru. Sadhu, Shastra, Guru, Vakya, Chittete, Korya, Aikya. Narottam Das Thakur sings. So here Prabhupada says, Srimad Bhagavatam is recognized Vedic wisdom and the system of receiving Vedic knowledge called Avaroha Panta, or the process of receiving transcendental knowledge through bona fide disciplic succession. For advancement of material knowledge, there is need for personal ability, a researching aptitude. But in the case of spiritual knowledge, all progress depends more or less on the mercy of spiritual master. For material life, you need some qualification, otherwise you are going to lose the job. But here, really, even if we are most disqualified, unqualified, by the mercy of Guru, we can advance. So Prabhupada speaks this. The knowledge becomes automatically manifested if you serve the Guru. The bona fide spiritual master reasonably explains everything to disciples on the authorities of Vedic wisdom. Disciple can receive such teachings not exactly intellectually, but by submissive inquiry and service attitude. The idea is that both spiritual master and disciple must be bona fide. So this is the teachings. So therefore we pray. Chakudan diloche, janme janme prabhu se, divya gyan hriday prakashit. He opens my darkened eyes and fills my heart with transcendental knowledge. He is my Lord, birth after birth. This is how we worship Guru. Every day is Guru Puja there, to get the mercy. Divya Jnana Hriday Prakashita. Transcendental knowledge will be revealed in the heart. You see that? Om Agyana Timirandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. No? Timirandasya. Darkness will be removed. So here, the self-evident Vedic literature are the highest evidence of all. But if this literature are interpreted, the self-evident nature is lost. No? So this is the thing, that we have to accept Shastra as it is, and then. So the secret is here. Only are to great souls who have implicit faith in both Lord and the Guru, that all imports of Vedic knowledge are automatically revealed. So this is the secret. This is our Vaishnava epistemology, that we follow what Guru says. Prabhupada says success of life is to please spiritual master. So this is what is our life focus. You can see, Srila Prabhupada has given us all Vedic knowledge, all literature. He knew what to write. He knew, he had realized this knowledge. His purpose are revealing Krishna to us. He given us Sambandha knowledge. Who am I? Spirit soul, eternal servant of God. Krishna is supreme person, transcendental being. Satchidananda Rupa, he has transcendental form, his transcendental qualities, his transcendental pastimes, his abode is transcendental. And he is inviting, Eko Devo Nitya Lila Anurakto, he is inviting everyone to participate in his eternal pastimes, to enjoy with him, to be with him, to serve him in bliss. Abhideya, how to achieve Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atmanivedanam. And then what is the goal? Prayojana Tattva, Prema Bhakti. No? Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhu Kabunai, Shravanadi Shuddha Chitti Karayodai. By Shravanadi, beginning with Shravanam, Shravana Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, that our love of God, which is dormant in everyone's heart, every soul has propensity, quality to love God. It will be reawakened, it will be restored, it will be simply manifest love of God. What do you say? Awaken. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. So, do you have any questions on this? Yes.
You were mentioning that some shlokas were chanted by Brahmanas in some part, like in Kashmir, they know something.
Right.
So that the other part, the other Brahmanas are not aware, or like how?
You see, why in different parts of India different shakas or Vedas are chanted. You see, they all started with rishis. And even in your dynasty, when I ask you what is your gotra, there will be some rishi's name. They all came from the dynasty of rishis. So different rishis will teach different shakas. And then they were splitting and splitting and splitting and splitting and spread all over, in different ways. So there is a list, there is a book, I've seen the book, where they say, Yajurveda Shaka is chanted in Maharashtra, Taittiriya chanted in South, this is what I remember. Something is chanted in Kashmir, it's spread all around, So it's interesting that you have this, and then for their people today, Brahmanas, who assemble the Vedas and saving still some mantras, some shakas, some suktas are still chanted in some villages, remote places, Like Bhaktivinoda Thakur, you find Chaitanya Upanishad, Avatara Veda chanted in Orissa. Still, now it's gone, now no more. Now where do you find? Hardly, even in temples now, who is chanting Vedas? Still is going on. Still in Tamil Nadu is going on. Any Shirangam you go, any function, when Lord is taking procession, all four Vedas must be chanted. Of course, now chant 2 shlokas, but still, Shri Vaishnavas are into it, they really chant. There is all procession, Lord is taken, you will see in front, they chant Divya Prabandhas, backside they will chant Vedas. Again, Divya Prabandhas, not different from the Vedas. Another Smriti, Shastra, which is accepted as Shabda Pramana. So it's like this, it's a spread all around. Still there are Veda Patashalas teaching the Vedas. So, any other questions? Yes, Prabhupada.
I will explain that, so I don't know completely, but Mahamantra, where can be placed in this?
Right. Mahamantra is mentioned in Kali Santaran Upanishad. So it's Upanishad, means it's part of Veda. I don't know which Upanishad it belongs. Anybody knows? Kali Santaran Upanishad belongs to which Veda? We can find out. And it's a Shruti mantra. Yeah. And then it's mentioned in Smritis also. It's mentioned in Puranas also. And it's emphasized. Jiva Goswami quotes Shloka. All the Vedas, all the Puranas, all Itihasas are simply meant that person continuously chant the 2 syllables, Hari, for chanting the holy name of the Lord. Kali Santaran Upanishad says, no? That's mentioned. Yes, Prabhu.
So Srimad Bhagavatam is understood as natural commentary on this story.
Natural commentary means because Vyasadeva himself wrote it. He wrote Vedanta. He said, this is end of Vedas. But something more to say. His own explanation.
But the question is, though,
Yes.
when we say commentary, we'll find the shloka and then the explanation. But in Bhagavatam, we don't find any shlokas from Vedanta Sutra.
Actually, you find Bhagavatam starts with Vedanta Sutra shlokas. You see, first is Atato Brahma Jigyasa. Atato. Confirmed, you see. Atato means now. What means now? Now, after going to 84 legs of species, after trying to enjoy in every body possible, atato Brahma Jigyasa, now you got human form of life. Now you ask about God. Now you stop repeated birth and death. And then what is the answer? Janmadhyasya yataha. How Bhagavatam starts? What is the first shloka of Bhagavatam? Janmadhyasya yaton vayadi taratasya tesha vigyasura tene brahma hridayadika muvyanti asuya tejo varid. So what is the point? The first mantra itself is answer, elaboration of Janmadhyasya yataha. Janma adi yasya. Janma adi. Everything is born from him. He maintains everything, he will destroy everything. Everything comes from him. That is absolute truth. What is absolute truth? From whom everything is born. Who is that? Satyam param dhimahi. Who is that? How it starts Bhagavatam? Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya. Vasudev is that absolute truth. Immediately, first shloka hits. And there is a very nice study done by Suhotra Maharaj, who explained which shlokas in Bhagavatam correspond to which shlokas of Vedanta Sutra. It's direct commentary. It really is. You know, it's really covering the Vedanta Sutra. Now, Bhaktivedanta Purna Maharaj, they promised from Gurukul to publish the script, the notes of Suhotra Maharaj, where he linked all the shlokas of Vedanta Sutra to the Bhagavatam, or most of the shlokas. He's showing, and it is accepted. You know. If you see commentaries of Acharyas, they all say that it's commentary on Vedanta Sutra. Yes, Prabhu?
Once I met from Senior Prabhupada Sadhu, and I told him my son is studying in Gurukul. So he said, oh, why put him in Gurukul? You should send him to Srirangam to study one of the Vedas, let him study the Vedas.
Right.
So what is it? I mean, if suppose a child is capable and
right.
to do it,
Yeah.
what is more important? Prabhupada says 4 books are enough, so...
Yeah. No, somebody told you to put your son and study Veda Patashala. That's also good. It will become saintly person. But it depends on this association of the teachers there, you know. If they are really devotees, then you really want to put your son. If they are just pandits, your son will become pandit. If they are just teaching to make living, then this is how consciousness will be influenced, you know. And ultimately we want our children to study Prabhupada's books. You know, as you see that Jiva Goswami said, you can't understand the Vedas. You know, it's not practical anymore. It's not for Kali Yuga. It's withdrawn. And how much you have? 6%, something. You know, so better to study Prabhupada's books. It's better, and better to be with devotees who are dedicated. But there are nice people there also. There are many. You know, they study the Vedas, their whole life live Vedas. They are saintly people, saintly persons. Many. We should not think, oh, ISKCON means we are only devotees in the world. It's a big illusion. There are so many devotees. Shri Vaishnavas, if they are not devotees, then who is devotee? You know, Madhvas, they are also devotees. You know, so many Vallabhas, you know, Nimbarkas, so many Gaudiya Vaishnavas. No? So we should be a little appreciative. They also give their life for service of Krishna, and they're doing nicely. They're doing for thousands of years. We got philosophy, but lack of culture. Really, we don't have any system, you know. Mess. We have mess. They have tradition, but we have clear message. Recent Acharya, Prabhupada. So it's easier in that way. Clear. I mean, just study Bhagavatam, 18,000 shlokas. I think I would put my children under somebody who teaches Bhagavatam. Okay, any other question? Okay. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.